Here's where the negotiations are taking place. They won't expect this, but they are heavily armed.
Okay. Wait a minute. Wasn't he just over here? How did he do that? Whoa, he's got a twin. Shenanigans back again, and welcome to MMOMG. My final week for Star Wars The Old Republic is over, and in this episode I'll be giving my thoughts on the game after a month of play. I have a few more topics to cover first, so let's get to it. I spent my final week in SWTOR mostly completing class missions and heroics in a rush to hit level 50. I did get in a handful of Galactic Starfighter matches and PvE space missions though, and was noticeably better at both than the weeks before. Ship upgrades played a huge part of my improvement in PvE missions, while learning to be a better pilot made the difference in PvP. I also played a couple of Flashpoints, which are instances that feature tougher enemies and, of course, boss fights. Flashpoints come in 3 varieties: Story, Veteran, and Master. Story Flashpoints are done solo, but you're given an additional combat droid to compensate. Veteran Flashpoints can be completed with a group of any 4 players, while Master Flashpoints are for high-level players and require a tank and healer. Group Flashpoints also bar the use of any companions, which actually give the content some challenge. Most Veteran Flashpoints can be accessed via Group Finder, and there's even level scaling in place, which I imagine shortens queue times quite a bit. Overall, Flashpoints are on par with most MMO dungeons, complete with trash mobs, patrols, bosses with special fight mechanics, and even some savvy shortcuts. Flashpoints involve dialogue options as well, though they really only serve as a way to earn light or dark points. There is a minor downside to queuing for random flashpoints if you hate spoilers, though. I landed into one that dropped a huge plot twist, ruining the surprise it would have made had I followed the story proper. As for personal progress in my final week, I got to level 48 after a total of 54 hours of play throughout the month. I picked up my second companion, the fast-talking con artist Galt Renau, in a fairly amusing series of missions on Tatooine. Alderaan, by the way, is a beautiful-looking planet even on low graphic settings, with sweeping landscapes that would fit perfectly in Middle-earth. I probably would have played the final night until I hit 50, but the game became so sluggish after the 5-hour mark that it needed a restart, and I decided to just call it there. So after a month of Star Wars The Old Republic, here's my thoughts. Having individual stories for each class, at least up to level 50, along with dialogue options for nearly every mission in the game is awesome. Having some agency in how you complete missions and interact with NPCs are impressive features sorely missing from the vast majority of MMOs. Most world zones and cities are quite large. While one could argue that makes navigation and travel difficult, I would add that it's far more believable and immersive. A lot of the alternative content, such as space, missions, and flashpoints, are fun, accessible, and competently done. They don't knock my socks off, but they're easily on par with the better MMO titles in terms of quality. The SWTOR fans that stopped into my stream were some of the kindest and friendliest people of any gaming community. They made me feel welcome and were eager to join me in-game for missions, group content, and just hanging out at strongholds. Speaking of which, strongholds are above average when it comes to player housing. There's a lot of customization options, and a surprising portion of the content is available for free players. In many ways, though, calling SWTOR free-to-play is a bit disingenuous. The restrictions for free and even preferred players can be downright insulting at times, including a full bar on communication prior to level 25 for free players. That said, subscription basically gives you expansions for free, which is far more generous than some of the other big-budget MMOs. Realistically, SWTOR's free-to-play portion is more like an extended free trial in that you're prevented or severely limited in what you have access to. While missions are well written and zones are often spacious, the way missions are offered means you'll be doing a lot of backtracking. It was most noticeable on Nar Shaddaa, where accessing different parts of the city planet required use of a taxi to get from point A to point B, and then back to A to continue the story. Your character has a personal communicator, but it rarely gets used due to the interactivity and importance of face-to-face mission dialogue. I know some people are tired of tab target combat, but that was the standard when SWTOR released, and for the most part, it works just fine here. What bothers me about combat in SWTOR was all the initial hype surrounding cover mechanics, which are now downplayed to the point of being nearly non-existent. Additionally, companions are just so brutally overpowered that it's basically impossible to die as long as you have one summoned. This turns combat into a chore rather than a challenge, which is kind of an insult to all things Star Wars. Perhaps most importantly are the issues concerning the game engine itself. Some players have reported better results using laptops and even integrated graphics over higher-end PCs. This leads me to believe that the game just isn't capable of fully utilizing certain types of hardware, which becomes a larger problem with time as players eventually upgrade to new systems. The realization that SWTOR's engine may become obsolete way earlier than it should is kind of a scary possibility. Galactic Starfighter is really good, but it's self-contained and entirely optional, so a lot of people don't play it. This game mode is so different and disconnected from the rest of the title that it feels like a separate game kind of arbitrarily glued on to SWTOR. It might see a bigger following if it gave rewards to other aspects of the game, or was just a standalone title, though monetizing that would likely ruin it. SWTOR still receives regular updates, including major content expansions. By the time this video goes up, Game Update 5.5 will be live, which paves the way for a set of updates dubbed United Forces. SWTOR will be focusing on the multiplayer experience with a new Flashpoint, Galactic Starfighter map, enhanced group finder, and more. With it also comes slightly more concerning news, that of a massive server merge. The 17 current servers will be distilled down to 5, 2 for North America and 3 for Europe. Despite what else is going on in any game, we all know that there's people ready to call said game dead whenever a server merge is announced. So prepare for cries of the SWTOR apocalypse to surge through the internet for a while. My overall impression of the game after a month? Play it for the story, if you can. Overall, Star Wars The Old Republic delivers an amazing, story-driven questing experience that, due to dialogue options, surpasses that of even Secret World Legends. Unfortunately, a combination of technical issues and off-putting, free-to-play restrictions keep me from giving this game my full recommendation. This concludes my month in SWTOR, and MMOMG will return with another title in November. Throughout October, I'll be playing more Secret World Legends, as well as a handful of horror games. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, or Smashcast in the evenings, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more gaming content. Follow me on Twitter to stay updated on everything I post, videos, articles, giveaways, and more. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.
I'm sick of excuses. I'll feed all you worthless slugs to a rancor if I have to. You hear what... excuse me? Hey, nobody just walks in here, huh? Nobody.
I'm a bounty hunter, hunting the Eidolon. Interested?
The Eidolon? What? You're kidding me, right? No. Tell me you're kidding. You're not kidding. All right, I'll bite. Boys, hey, get out of here. Get us some refreshments. The Eidolon did some work for us, you know. He could kill anybody, anywhere. This guy was unbelievable.
Is that Tom Wilson doing the voice? Is that Biff?
I can understand why you liked him.
Oh, those were the good days. Let me tell you, we had plenty of work for him.
It does. That sounds like Tom
At the
Wilson.
top of his game, the Eidolon announces he's getting out of the assassination business. Opened a security company.
I bet it is. I
Half
bet
the
that's Biff.
corporations here were clients of Eidolon Security.
Back to the
We're
future.
no longer paying the Hutt cartel.
Star Wars The Old Republic, Commander Bonin, Els Organa, and Galerin. He did the voice. I had it. That's Tom Wilson. That's Biff Tannen, guys.
I'll be watching the sky for that huge fireball. Can't wait.
I know that because I'm subscribed to Tom Wilson's YouTube channel. I love watching his vlogs. Cool guy. You guys should, you guys want to see some really funny stuff, you guys should go check out Tom Wilson's YouTube channel. Awesome.